You just bought a new car, or at least a new to you car, and the windows are very dark. So dark, in fact, that you're nervous to drive the car. Or maybe you've had the car for a while and you just got pulled over and ticketed for illegal window tint. That's fortunately not the case for me, but I don't want that to become a reality. So today we're going to be working on my 2001 SAAB 9.5 that had 5% window tint around the whole car. And I have been increasingly more nervous to drive this around since we moved out of Wyoming and to Idaho, where they're a little bit tighter on regulations. Do not pay somebody to do this job. This job is so easy to do. If you were to take this into a tint shop to get the tint removed, you'd be $150 an hour to have it done, between $150 and $300 to have the whole car done. So do not pay somebody to do this. This is so easy, and if you don't have the tools, you can go to your local Harbor Freight and buy them for about $10. Removing window tint is so much easier than I thought it was, and to make this job go super smoothly, all you need are 4 items. Very important, you're going to need a razor blade. If you're removing window tint off your windshield like I did, sometimes you have to get a razor blade to find an edge or get an edge started. So you need a razor blade. You're going to want a heat gun, a high heat gun like this Warrior one from Harbor Freight. If you don't have a heat gun, an embossing craft gun, heat gun will work. Some people even use a hairdryer, although I find that they do not get hot enough, especially if it is like February or March, like it is here in Idaho. You're going to want a heat gun. You can pick one of these up at Harbor Freight for about $10. And then once all said and done, we're going to once again use the razor blade and glass cleaner, and you're going to want some rags or some paper towels because unfortunately it is going to leave a little bit of sticky residue behind, and the glass cleaner is the ticket to getting that off. I have already done the windshield on the 9.5. Before, you could not see through this windshield. It was this dark. Hi, mirror finish, super, super, super dark window tint. I had that on the windshield, and I have that all around the entire car. So I did take some time to figure out this process, and it's just too hard to film on the windshield, and I removed the 5% tint on the windshield. Now you can see that this is your legal non-tinted or barely UV tinted windshield. Check your tint laws. 5% is illegal in, I think, the entire United States. So anyways, this tint is too dark, and we're going to go ahead and take it off of the front 2 side windows. We're going to start here by rolling down the window just a little bit. Usually there's a little bit of a seam, and this one gives me a good idea of how clear my window is going to be. So it looks like I'm going back to factory clear. We may have this tinted again with a lighter tint at some point, but if you watch, I have a decent fingernail here and I can't get this tint up. So what you're going to want to do is start here in the corner and take your heat gun and just start to heat this window and this corner, because what we want to do is we want to get a little bit of this edge peeled up and started, and then we'll take our heat gun and we'll just kind of follow it down as we peel it. And if you get it really hot and you peel slowly, then in theory, this is really high quality tint, so it will, but in theory, the glue should come off the window with the tint and not stay on the window. You are going to get some glue adhesive residue to stay on the window, but we're hoping that most of it comes off with the tint. I'm just going to heat the corner of this window. I don't want to get too close to the door pillar here because I don't want to melt anything. It's kind of the downside of using a high heat gun instead of like your blow dryer or something. Get your razor blade in there on this tint too to start an edge. You just want to be careful because where this is, which I don't know about the side windows, but like your windshield with safety glass, it tends to scratch pretty easily, so you want to be somewhat careful with your razor blade that you're not digging into the glass or the coating. Now again, if you have really high quality tint, it's not going to want to let go right away, which is also good. I'm just going to take my heat gun and just keep heating the window. I want lots and lots of heat in here. And I'm just going to slowly heat down as I pull off on this window tint. And you can see, maybe you can see there in the camera that this is steaming. This is nice and hot. It's really probably as hot as I'm comfortable getting it. Now if I encounter some resistance, I'm stopping pulling on the window tint because I really want it to take as much of that glue with it as it can, since it is a pain to have to remove and get off by itself. It is leaving a little bit of sticky residue behind. There's a little bit up here, but I'm not getting much else. And see, I'm encountering resistance, so I'm waiting until I get the tint hot again. Some tint guys will actually take their gun and point it on this side so that they can pull against it, which is fine too. Having a little trouble getting it off the sticker here, but we'll just start on this other side and we'll kind of peel our way around to it now. Alright, so that is it initially. We have all of this window tint film off of the window. Now if you've touched the window, you're going to notice that it's sticky in some spots. I'm quite a bit stickier down here. I've got some stuff up here, and then this is pretty clean, which is really good. This tint come off beautifully. We are going to have to do quite a bit of cleanup still, because if you leave this, you can see as I touch it, just the oils from my fingers is making this tint really foggy. If for whatever reason, say your child rips your window tint off in the back seat or in your passenger seat or something, you're going to have to spend a lot of time to clean it up, because if you don't, this will get so dirty that it'll actually become dangerous. Throw the film away, grab your razor blade and your window cleaner. The most annoying and the most tedious part about window tinting, but what you're going to want to do is get a high quality glass cleaner, spray your window down. You want to let it sit on there for a minute, so probably a little longer than what I'm showing you. But then you just want to take your razor blade and gently just work it off to the side. And as you do this, any sticky residue left behind is going to get peeled up. You can see it starting to get peeled up here. I've got some sticky residue. It's peeled up. Down here I've got a lot more, so I can feel some resistance on the razor blade. For purposes of the video, I've been kind of careless with this glass cleaner. You can see here that this is all sticky gunk residue from the window tint that's coming off. So we want that to come off of the window. So we're just going to take the razor blade and just very gently peel up against it. You may have to do this a couple times. Slowly work over the whole window with my razor blade. When I feel some sticky residue, I'm going to stop and clean it off. You can even do a little scrub motion with it, kind of helps. Put a good amount of pressure, but just be really careful that you aren't scratching your glass. Don't be scared to use the glass cleaner, because it's definitely going to help you. I've seen some guys get soapy water and ammonia out as well. Now I've really taken my time to make sure all this tint glue is off the windshield. I can run my hand over it and see if there's any more sticky residue on it or not. There's a little bit down here. Make sure you got all of the glue patches. Spray your window down one more time. And then, like I said, just take your rag and clean it here like you normally would clean your window. And if it was clean on the other side of this window, you would see that this window looks almost brand new. Jump to the other side here. And there you have it, a nice, freshly cleaned, untinted window. Removing window tint from your vehicle is a super easy process. I was so surprised at how easy it was to remove the tint from both my windshield and my two front side windows. So please, please, please save yourself some money and do this at home. It's actually not overly tedious or overly difficult to do, and it saves a ton of money. Ultimately, with my SAAB, I decided to leave the back tinted at 5%. If I was tinting a car that had never been tinted or didn't come with tint, personally, I probably would have done this between 15 and 10%, but it's got 5% on it, so I'm not going to pay to tear this off and have it retinted so that it looks just about equally as dark. I do like the 5%. You cannot see through this tint, so it's very private. And if you have your kids in the back of the car, there's never a need for sunshades or anything like that, which is nice for long road trips as well. So I'm going to leave my 5%, and I went ahead this weekend and had my two front windows retinted, and I did not touch the windshield. Personally, I don't believe that you should touch the windshields because not only is it illegal, which these windows are too, but it is actually dangerous. With 5% all around this car, I couldn't hardly tell if my headlights were on, and I couldn't see what I was coming up on down the road. With the tint removed, this car has been so much safer. I can actually see while I'm driving at night, which I drive in the dark a lot for work now because I have to be there super early in the morning. So this was a necessity. I really like how the SAAB fades out from no tint up to this black bar here within its tint line on the top of the windscreen. So like our Fusion that does not have that, I might actually, if I was tinting a car, choose to do a gradient tint or something of that nature just so it looks nice or is nicer and has some of that UV protection that the windscreen could be lacking. Like I said, I got these windows retinted, and because of the angle that you're looking at the car right now, it looks really, really dark. It looks equally as dark as what I pulled off, but this is actually 20% window tint, and looking at it from this angle, because there's actually light coming in the front of the car, I can see the dash, I can see the steering wheel, and I can see the seats, but not super well, right? 20% is still pretty private, but pretty see-through as well. So I can actually see out of this car. I don't feel like I have to roll my windows down when I'm turning at night, and it just feels so much safer, but it still offers some privacy and still makes the car look really good and not so fishbowl-ish up front. So I pulled the 5% off and I put 20% back on. Again, if I was personally tinting a car, I wouldn't touch the windscreen. I would do 30 to 20% here in front and then 15 to 10% in the back. And I actually really like the 5% back here because on my way to work, I get cars behind me and it just kind of drowns the headlights out a little bit more because it is so dark. If this video helped you out, be sure to smash the thumbs up button below. And if you want to see more content on this car, be sure to subscribe to the channel below and hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload a video. With all of that said, get out, enjoy your automotive ownership, and I'll catch you in the next one.